The House Oversight Committee, led by Congressman James Comer, subpoenaed Hunter Biden, James Biden, and other members of the Biden family today. Now, that is an issue that is being, widely covered. But the partisan media is ignoring what may be the details, right? The fairest, most in-depth story published recently on Hunter and Joe Biden. Why? Because it doesn't fit either side's narrative. On the left, they're ignoring it because it sheds light on many of James and Hunter Biden's shady business dealings. Sure seems like they were trading on the Biden name, including while Joe Biden was vice president, and that Joe Biden seemingly wasn't being honest about his knowledge of Hunter's business dealings. And they're ignoring it on the right because of the one big caveat, that none of it shows that Joe Biden was involved in anything corrupt. The title of the Politico article is entirely consistent with points I've made repeatedly on this show. It says, quote, "Fresh revelations contradict Joe Biden's sweeping denials on Hunter. The president hasn't been shown to have committed wrongdoing, but a Politico review of the recent developments casts doubts on several statements." The author, Ben Schreckinger, will join us in a moment. It'll be his first national cable news appearance on the subject, but not because we got some grand exclusive, because no one's really asked for him on this. Just us and apparently one other outlet. You see, his argument doesn't fit neatly into a political narrative. He simply highlights the realities of where we are, both the good and the bad. Some of the details of what he's laying out. First, there's a 2015 at a restaurant called Cafe Milano in Washington, D.C., where Hunter Biden allegedly hosted a dinner with his father, the vice president at the time, and an executive from the Ukrainian energy company Burisma, where Hunter Biden sat on the board. The White House insisted that no meeting, formal or informal, occurred between Joe Biden and the Burisma exec. But an email saying, "Thank you for inviting me to D.C. and giving me an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together," and a guest list email were, among other things, authenticated for Politico by digital forensic experts. So it's also very hard to believe that Joe Biden never talked to his son about his businesses, as he's claimed repeatedly. But there's no credible evidence to say that Joe Biden benefited or offered favors. President Biden also has been asked about his son's work in China during his time as vice president. And he said, "My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China?" referring to his work on an advisory board to a venture with a Chinese asset manager during the Obama years. But as the Politico piece says, quote, "The more general claim that Hunter Biden did not make money from China is false." But on Joe Biden's role in the businesses or benefiting from them, the article says, quote, "Republicans, meanwhile, have turned up no proof for the claims of Biden's most zealous detractors that he took official actions on account of his relatives' business dealings." Joining me now is Ben Schreckinger, national political correspondent for Politico. Ben, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. All right, so let me just first of all ask you, what do you make of the fact that the Oversight Committee is now subpoenaing Hunter and James Biden?
Well, frankly, from my perspective, more documents put into the public sphere, the better. I've learned things from previous document dumps from these committees, and they've shed more light on questions that I've been pursuing for years. So anything more that I can learn, I'll be happy to learn.
So what for you, and again, you did a deep dive on this, you called them fresh revelations. What would you say was the top sort of fresh revelation that we've learned from your article?
Yeah, so for me personally, what I led with involving this Cafe Milano dinner is what stuck out to me, and was the one thing where I had some interactions with the White House that we hadn't published their comments from years ago, but thanks to some congressional testimony from a Hunter Biden business partner, it sort of cast some new light on what the White House had told me a couple of years ago. This goes back to this whole question: did Joe Biden show up at a dinner arranged by his son with a Burisma executive while the United States government was pursuing corruption claims against Burisma? Emails suggested yes, they have for years. Joe Biden's representatives, in responding to the leak of those emails, had issued what I've described as carefully worded statements. They've said, our official schedules don't show anything, or no meeting, as it's been described by the New York Post, occurred. And to me, that's leaving some wiggle room. Perhaps they did meet, but it wasn't a formal meeting. It wasn't, at the White House. It was, as these
Yeah.
emails suggested, at a dinner. The White House told me, no, there wasn't even an informal encounter.
Why do they keep denying this stuff? It's crazy. Even to this day, it just seems to me they ought to just come clean with, yeah, look, President Biden didn't remember. Yes, there were certain things where he attended, but it was no big deal. They can't even say that now.
Yes, right. And now, under penalty of perjury, Devin Archer has said, yeah, these two people had dinner together.
Right.
There were, it was a dinner in a private room at Cafe Milano. It wasn't just the two of them. That's what the emails had suggested all along.
Right.
I brought this to the attention of the White House. I said, how do you reconcile you saying there's no even informal encounter with now someone saying, yeah, we all had dinner together? And,
right.
and they didn't really directly address that.
But you did not turn up any evidence, again, to confirm that Joe Biden was either benefiting financially or involved in corruption, correct?
Correct. Yeah. The same business partner said, it was a regular dinner table conversation, news of the day, whatever. He did not say that they talked business or that favors were offered at that time.
Oh, nuance, Ben. People hate it. Thank you very much.
I know.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.